Wait, well, okay, whatever. I don't remember his name.
You don't know Eggman?
I know him now. Yes, I know him now. I just thought it was someone else from Ninja Turtles. I can't remember his name. But luckily for us, we don't need to talk about anymore right now, Tom Biz, because we're on to Inferno. We're on to
oh my god,
pretty devastating odds in favor of Team Liquid.
1.01. Yeah, you're not making much money, but it's probably fairly safe. The desk was a bit brutal, but I don't think that's going to change too much from my perspective, at least. Jason, can you be the little like ray of hope for G2?
How long have you known me now? How positive am I as a person?
More positive than me.
Yeah, that's true. I think I'll just join in the consensus on the desk. I think that's a fair assessment of how this match is going to go, considering what we saw on Dust 2, 16-3. I want to see G2 play well. Like Kenny S, I love him as a person, love him as a player. I wish he was able to perform like we saw, old school out of Kenny S back in like the 2013-14 days, but we'll see. Bomb's gonna go down. The first kill finally comes through. Problem is these two players in towards pit are basically by themselves as no one's able to help them back in from library. And Twist is able to close out Kenny S. Now they have the fight on one front. Naf's gonna get his head cleanly taken off his shoulders as Stewie just gonna be spamming through the smoke. Twist gonna be their support from pit. And here they go, gonna push through the smoke. And not a bad start here, but in what world does Twist win this?
Well, they've lost plenty of scenarios in the previous map, but that's a much better start from them.
Hopefully he's moving more than that, because they need to defuse the bomb.
I think Jax is really focused. And he was like, Jax, we've won the round already. You don't have to be so worried about how things are going.
I like the intensity, though.
I'd like him to look into my eyes that way.
What else would you like him to do, Tom?
No, not
feed you chocolate croissants.
Hey, they're called pan au chocolat, but yeah.
Well, that's gonna be the first round taken for G2 on the CT side.
We are going to see a force up though. I always like this SG buy, especially with the two players that currently have them in hand. I think Elige is one of the best SG players in the world, and well, probably one of the best players just in the world in general. But he definitely loves to man this gun, and then you got Stewie as well, so a decent chance that they steal this away. It is going to be the opposing side of G2 picking up a lot of SMGs, which will give them the chance to make some money if they can steal this round away. But I like how they've actually opted to play this round. Get in nice and close, take down Banana control. The only problem is Amanek's going to be Molotov'd out. There's not actually anything he can do. He's just got to try and get out of the corner. I think he was expecting the smoke from his teammate to actually save him, and instead, he's just going to get absolutely owned, and his teammate, in the form of Kirishima, is just going, no, I smoked them off. Don't worry about it. Like, it's fine.
I mean, he got some good damage on Tanaf there. Down to 33 with the spray and pray through the smoke. Yeah, he definitely was sitting there like, okay, someone's going to smoke this off, right?
Don't like that. Kia's going to smoke. He said he's going to smoke it. Oh, he meant the angle. Ah, I'm dead then.
Well, now it looks like Team Liquid are going to start to pick up the pace. Keo going to try to hold on with an MP9. The problem is there's still quite a few players there who are actually looking to back away. Maybe a little bit of a fake going to be coming through. Help alleviate some pressure towards Long as you see the smokes that maybe not being thrown in. And, well, he's going to lose his head. And no one on the actual A side has rotated off because I think long-term they're just going to save. I mean, if they actually went B and planted, I thought they were just going to save it. But now they're going to go in A. They might actually lose all their weapons here. Kenny S trying to do something from inside. Lucky gets himself 2 and the 3rd. Lee's going to be coming in with basically full HP here. 77 health to his name. 1 kill already. Sorry, 2 kills already. As Jack's going to try to rush him before he gets the bomb down. Bomb gets planted. He gets the kill. Now it's all on Stewie. 1v1.
The problem is there isn't a kit.
That's planted for Stewie too.
Yeah, Jax just has to try and bait him into the angle. Flashbang gives him a little bit of an edge, but Stewie just waiting. He knows that his opponent's going to have to try and make the play here and peeking to spot him not. This is one of those situations where if you tap this bomb this many times, surely it doesn't work, but he actually finds the headshot. I think he just about has enough time as well. Yeah, Jax is going to be taking this round for his team, so a solid performance there from G2, and I think that was just calling Liquid's bluff. And as you said, it came down to the fact that, like, ultimately they were just going to save their weapons. They left Keo, they just went, get him, Keo. And then the rest of them were just going to save as a unit, and in the end, it turned out to be an elaborate bluff coming in from Liquid that, well, the only person they fooled was themselves.
That had to have been cockiness out of Stewie there. That had to have been to keep peeking like that over and over again. He would have seen if he had a kit or not on the initial defuse. But hey, credit to G2 to pull the one off. Credit to survive and go up 2-0. I mean, to be fair, they only got 3 rounds in the entirety of Dust 2. They're gonna need a hell of a lot more on Inferno to keep their hopes alive. But it's not like they're done just yet. Even if they lose this map, even if they lose the match, it's not like they're out. This is just the decider to see who goes through the group first. There's still an elimination match to come up tomorrow.
Yeah, this is
but
the winner's
obviously,
match.
if they could somehow pull off the victory against Liquid and get through as the #1 seed from the group, they could potentially dodge the likes of Astralis if they are able to get through in their own group in Group B.
Yeah, that would be a pretty big deal. Of course, no matter what happens, like the other group has some pretty heavy hitters in it anyway. Like you've still got the likes of NRG going into that winners match as well. So it's not like you get, oh sorry, EG. Definitely didn't forget.
Who are you pointing to just now? There's no one looking at us.
Everybody gets one.
But it's, I mean, the thing is, if G2, let's say they did lose this match, right? E United or ENCE. And I think last time I saw ENCE won the first map against E United. So that would be a rematch for them from a match they already had today. Yep, you know, you hate to see it if you're Omnic there. But there's actually a stack at the B side, so maybe they're going to catch him off guard. Maybe they're not going to expect Kenny S boosted here, considering they just killed Omnic towards Coffins.
Again, though, we see these slower rounds. They double back, and Lucky's been fantastic so far. Definitely making his mark within this match. A few crucial kills, and again, you have to feel that some of the time that I understand Liquid's sort of mentality of trying to like double back these fakes and force rotations, but they leave themselves with little time. They've also left the bomb. The bomb is still down the bottom.
They don't realize
without
it, do
the
they?
take. Yeah, they're trying to take the site and they don't have it. They've only got 25 seconds. Even if they kill everyone, they're going to have to go back again. These are mistakes that you don't expect to see for a team like Liquid. And yeah, even now they're cleaning things out. They've got to try and get the kills. Kio's defending a site when the bomb's not even there. And as long as there's no rotation from Jax, he's won the round.
And now they're like, all right, plant it. Wait, no, you plant it. You got the bomb, right?
He doesn't.
What are you doing? Oh my gosh.
Oh, thank God. But yeah, massive mistake. Absolutely massive mistake coming out from Liquid. And G2 don't even know that it's been made.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you can't, you see how like happy they are, but like if they actually knew the situation that the bomb was not there, then they would know. There was no chance they were gonna lose that round unless he peeked and died. So that's 2 rounds for me now that I say Liquid have just kind of gotten cocky or just messed up. The round prior when Stewie peeked a little bit too much and Jax got the defuse and the kill. And that last round when they just left the bomb towards T-spawn.
The first one I can forgive. Like in that situation where someone's tapping the bomb, it's just whether or not you know he has a kit. Like you want to make sure that he's not defusing. That one, I think it depends on the player. Like Stewie is a fairly aggressive player, so he's more likely to peek that. Leaving the bomb, there's not really an excuse for that one. You can't defend it. Like that's just a silly mistake. And again, like G2 are going to be very happy getting off to a good start. Naf, of course, able to save the weapon from the previous round. So he's going to look to try and do some damage here, and he's gone already. Keo is going to kick things off. They've gambled with just Amanek being left. Even still, G2's money is not in a good state, so any real damage that can be done here for Liquid will still put them in a good position to break them in the coming rounds, but they could have already done it.
Well, I know that's going to be a top clip on Reddit now. See them leave the bomb. I think that would have been worse, though, if, like, was it Lucky lost alive or Jax? If they peeked and died and they lost when the bomb wasn't even there, I just... Oof, that would have been rough. Twist, nice position here. Actually catch it the first, not even get the second, so trying to go Gladiator with this SG that they're able to save the round prior. Trying to rescue it. I think Nitro's hoping it's right next to him, but as we can tell, no one's been able to pick it up. Jack's gonna be waiting on top of balcony. The push gonna come back in. First person gonna go on, that's gonna be Nitro. Gonna be spotted out from balcony as Elige gets the kill. I'm not gonna go for the rotate actually from behind them as there's 2 players over towards the B site. 1 player, Kenny S, gonna be defending from the arch side. They're actually able to get the bomb down out of this. And can Stewie make up for the prior rounds? Can he pull off a 1v3 with an MP9 and a Deagle?
Oh, we've seen some atrocious retakes already from G2, but this would definitely be the worst. They've got a kit, they've got 3 players, they've got plenty of time, and they know where he is. So there should be absolutely no chance here for Stewie, and although they line up, he only had an MP9. So let G2 get there in the end. They lose a couple of players, but ultimately they make themselves a bit of money. On the other side, though, Liquid, they drop a couple of players. They at least make their opponent incur some cost, and they get a bomb down and have lots of money going into the next round. So sure, from what we've seen so far, this is definitely a more dicey Liquid than what we're used to, but we're going into a position where they're at least going to be able to buy.
Was their coach like saying like, all right, let's get things rolling, let's get through rolling? The admin comes up to him and is like, you can't make things go rolling. He's like, no, it's not going to go rolling.
No signs.
Yeah.
Stop talking.
Well, anyways, G4, 4-0 lead. Not in a way I expected it, considering some of the rounds we have seen.
They did better than the last map.
That's something.
It's positives. We'll see now if this is going to be where things go horribly wrong, because ultimately we're more talking about Liquid's mistakes. Although, as said, props need to be given to Lucky. I think he's started off this map strong.
I mean, yeah, we're talking about Liquid's mistakes more than G2 playing well, but that's because a couple of the rounds now, it hasn't been because G2's been playing well, it's because Liquid made a mistake.
Either way. We are going to see the boosted player up. Something that's been used just yet, although it's a position that a lot of players will look to spam, and they're actually going to fall off it before anything really happens so far within this round. They've gambled a third player on towards the B side, so it seems like G2 are very willing to take some high-level risks early within this game. Now, Lucky and Jax have...
What kind of... That's Crossfire. It's so confusing. No one's watching Archway.
I think that is intentional, though. A lot of teams do that, where you gamble a player over and then the other player's going to rotate back. That's not that surprising. Well, Kenny will be here ready and waiting. I think they just sent that extra player over to allow Kenny to rotate back. Even still, the map control's been lost, but look at the time once again. 25 seconds. Thankfully, they have the bomb in hand. It is going to be a push on towards this B-side, or at least looks like it, especially now that Jax managed to get the kill. But again, it's going to be a fake. They're going to try and fake this with just 15 seconds left. They're going to need to get the kills so ridiculously quick, and there's still a man within the site. Jax knows it as well. He just needs to try and hold back. Lucky gets the kill, and they don't even have time. They've run out of time again. What is going on for Liquid? These are some of the messiest rounds I've ever seen them play. I think they're severely overthinking all of these strats.
Speechless. What? What? You're hoping that Nitro gets enough kills on the site to allow the bomb to go down. But there was like 4 seconds left when the bomb carrier died.
Yeah, that's the thing. I even think if he just ran all the way and there was like no one there, I think they still ran out of time. Like, it would have been close even then. This is a weird game so far. Now they're just trying to brute force push it to Kenny S, which it's not worked for the last, like, I don't know, I want to say like 8 years, but he has been there a long, long time. It's not working now either. They didn't want to run out of time, so I suppose that's a positive at least. I don't think many people would have predicted this, though. It's looking like it's going to be 6-0. Sure, we've seen some throwaway rounds, and hey, Nitro's at least managed to get a pick back. The push is going to come down from Banana, at least from the remaining CT players, so they should have a fast rotation. Kenny is just working this side. It's what we like to see, and he's going to get the quad kill. A great round coming out from him. 141 ADR and 8 kills to his name so far. And hey, if Liquid want to keep playing like this, I'm sure G2 are going to take it all day long. Oh, that's a nice close-up. That's what we like to see.
Oh. You're not supposed to point it out.
Oh, as if it wasn't blatantly obvious anyway. He's searching for gold, and luckily Kenny found it.
I just don't know what's going on. There's so many words that I probably shouldn't say on air that I want to say with how... What?
That's the thing, though. There is actually something that him and Kenny have in common in the last round, at least, and it's they both found picks.
It's Just to let you know, ladies and gentlemen at home, Tom is very happy with himself right now.
Well, I'm also very happy because you just managed to like break your chair and like almost fall backwards. So that made that punchline even more difficult to deliver. But I'm proud of myself to get away with it. Here we go. Kenny being run boost over. Pistols being invested into. And a lot of utility as well. 3 HEs. Hoping to try and take someone out of the round.
If anyone at all is in this Cologne area that wants to take over my job for me and cast with Tom.
I think it doesn't Pansy live in Cologne?
She's probably busy.
Oh.
Trying to get her networking, so she probably doesn't hear this.
She hears everything. She's always watching.
Well, 6-0 for G2. Yeah, I mean, if you look at this number, you're like, wow, G2's really coming back. Like, watching on HLTV, wow, I can't believe they're doing so well. 6-0 after losing 16-3. Well, you know, that the scoreline doesn't really tell you what's been happening in this game, to be fair. I don't know what to call this, but you know what? G2 are on a roll.
So is the social media. They're having fun with the memes. Here we go. Pushing towards the site. This crossfire's been deadly so far. Jax and Lucky have been unstoppable. Nice shot from Twist, but even still, Kenny's going to be there to put him down. And now, well, the hopes of a bomb plant looking slim. Of course, the loss bonus is max at this point, so it doesn't make that much of a difference. There'll still be money for a purchase for Liquid anyway, but yeah, well, just even looking at those odds, I don't know if we can bring them back up at this point to see if they've changed at all, but the Betway odds were 1.01 for Liquid, basically saying that it's like 99.9% sure that they were going to win this map. At the moment, it doesn't look like they're even awake. Like, they're getting absolutely destroyed. And most of it's through their own doing. But the thing is, this isn't a team like, okay, G2, they may be a little bit of a mess right now. But if you let some of these players start gaining in confidence and you let players like Kenny S just get pick after pick, you can lose this. You can easily lose this.
Especially if Omnic gets pick after pick. Things are going to be really interesting.
I think that was a bit of a reach.
I got kind of stuck on it. Okay, so maybe some normality coming to the match, Tom. Maybe. Maybe we're going to see a normal game with what's already been happening the first 7 rounds. Look at running into sites. They're not leaving the bomb. G2, I think the confidence... Like, the funny thing is, like, we obviously see how these rounds have gone, right? And how weird it's been. But G2 are in this thinking, like, this is a super serious match and Liquid are trying their hardest. 7-0. The confidence is getting out of hand here. And I feel like there's a legitimate chance if you keep letting him stay confident like this and Kenny's hitting shots like that, that there is a chance G2 could take this map.
Well, they've gambled. They've gambled heavily. They've left Kenny alone. Even still, though, it seems like a lot of these reads they've been doing early on have been working. We're getting down to the late round scenario once again. This is somewhat where I'd like to see a rotation, though, come out from G2. Like, you're leaving so much pressure on Kenny. Sure, he's a man that can take it, but look, they're going to be able to double back around. This should be impossible now from Kenny. He is the man that if anybody could turn this, it would be him, but I think he knows he's going to try and back in towards the site. The rotations are going to be cut off. It's all left onto him, but look at the time again. There's only 10 seconds. They need him dead within the next couple. They need to run onto this site.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, he's got it. He's just about. He almost mucked that up just by walking into a wall. I can't even believe that was that close. Maybe just trying to scare everyone. And G2 are just going to go and save. They want to hold on to their weaponry. If they'd lost that round by him walking into a wall, I would have walked out of the door. And you would have been happy.
It's that easy to get you out of here? Let me just go hit up Stewie. Ask him for a favor. He wished me happy birthday. Now it's time to make do on my wish, my present. I honestly, like, there's so many curse words that I'm, like, tempted to say right now about what the hell is going on in this match. Why execute so late? I mean, the rotation won't be there, yes, but to almost blow the round because you missed the steps and you hit a wall, like, it's bad enough leaving the bomb behind.
It was 1 second as well. It was literally 1 second, maybe under a second.
They're gonna give someone a heart attack out there watching this.
Yeah, probably the people who bet on a 1.01.
Yeah, I'm gonna put $100 in. I'm gonna net me. Was it $10 off that?
I don't think it's that good. No,
I don't know. I don't know how betting works.
One.
I don't know how betting works.
I think you'd make $1 off that.
Ooh. Again, confidence, Kenny. You can't keep getting the confidence like this. He's hitting shots. He's at 12-4. A little bit of old school Kenny is coming back in. Well, Naf, of course, makes me live up to the commentator's curse as he does kill him.
Kaplan curse.
Is curse spelled with a K?
Yeah, why not?
Nice. I like it. I'll take it.
They've thrown this boost in once again. Good counter nades to at least hold Liquid back for now. This position is normally one where Jack should at least get a kill, and especially because there's a player under the balcony as well. And this is just the confidence that they have in their B player. No matter who it seems to be, they'll just have this deadly crossfire. Even still, it comes a little bit close, but ultimately all they had to do is trade effectively. 8-1, G2 now firmly within the driver's seat, and it gets to the point where I don't even know if I can just rail on Liquid and just start giving props over to G2. Like a couple of opening picks coming in from Kenny to start things off. He's playing very well. Then you have these nice little crossfires that they've got into middle, and it is just looking like Liquid can't get into any of these rounds.
So Liquid, 21st, beat N 16-14. Beat G2, 16-9. Beat FaZe, 16-6. Beat Cloud9, 16-14. Beat Cloud9, 16-8. Beat Vitality, 16-10. Beat Energy, 22-20. They're 8-1 down right now, and a lot of these rounds have come. Well, I don't even want to say a lot of these rounds anymore. A couple of these rounds have come into just so many just stupid mistakes, whether intentional or not. Leaving the bomb down, almost not getting the plant.
I don't think you can call them intentional. Like an intentional mistake isn't a mistake.
Thank you, Tom.
You're welcome.
So, I don't know what's going on in Liquid. Maybe they're just playing like so carefree because they know they're going to win this match, or they think they're going to win this match so easily. But G2 are putting up a fight, and they're putting up a damn good fight, as you can see here. Again, stop the push in towards B. Naf and Nitro going to be left up against 5. They have the bomb, yes, but this looks like almost an impossible task for them.
Yeah, if they manage to get out of this round out of all of them, Naf quickly able to get one, but now Nitro completely surrounded. The final player starting to rotate in as well, so if he doesn't get a kill quickly, well, there's no hope. And yeah, G2, another onto the board. 9 rounds on their CT side. I think the desk might be starting to sweat a little bit with their no chance, but to be honest, I don't think anybody really gave them a chance going into this. As you mentioned, it was a 100% record for Liquid going into this match, at least over the last few months. And while G2 are looking absolutely dominant, Amanek has 1 kill. Like, his KAD is 1, 2, 3. Like, it just hasn't had to do anything so far in this game. Lucky has 15 kills and 4 deaths. I'm pretty sure Jax and Kenny are both in double digits as well. Like, they are performing very, very well at the moment. And sure, Liquid have thrown away their chance to get into this match, but it's taken a lot from G2 to also lock them out. Some decent performances across the board. A utility at least holding back what was going to be, or what seemed to be, an aggressive push. And Kenny's still being confident.
Would you agree, Tom, that like Liquid are almost outplaying themselves in some of these rounds?
In some of the early rounds, I think the last few, I think it's just been G2 playing well. Like, I don't want to just start like a trend of basically just saying that every round that Liquid loses is their own mistakes. At the beginning, sure. At the moment, no. Like, I think that we've just seen like a turnaround from G2. They've gained some confidence and they've just started playing better. Like, we can't get to the end of this match and just go, oh yeah, G2 won it because Liquid were bad. No, like, they're having to put up a good performance themselves because other teams can't even beat them when they're not performing. Kenny again is going to be able to get the pick. Flashbang comes through. He's able to get around the corner and has some support, and that's another pick for Kenny. He doubles down once again. Smoke will eventually close him out, and the clock is starting to become an issue. 30 seconds on the clock for this Liquid side. They're going to get in towards this site. Lucky holding the crossfire with Jax. This has been a fantastic duo within this A site, and you can't put anything wrong there. There were no real mistakes coming out from Liquid. G2 just held that site down.
Kenny hitting those 2 fantastic shots as well. Just trying to get aggressive, trying to peek around the corner in towards middle. Liquid guys, not really much talking going on their side. looking a little frustrated now at the mistakes they've been making and how well G2 start to step into this. 10-1 CT side of Inferno for G2 after losing 16-3 on Dust 2. I'm curious how much longer can they keep this up.
Ooh.
Will momentum be stopped? And it might come down from this. The aggressive play comes through out of Liquid. Nitro opens things up. Tech9 into the op. Omnic gonna miss out his first shots. We'll eventually catch on to one though. But damage is being done here. Nitro really coming to his own in this round. It's gonna come down to Stewie with just a Glock at the moment, trying to pick up a weapon up against Jax. Smoke going to be used to cut off the vision between each other. But Stewie has a lot of time to play with here. Now he's starting to pick up some utility off the ground too.
Yeah, he's already retrieved a fair bit. A Smoke and an Incendiary. Getting that bomb back is going to be difficult. Both players now with the information of where the other currently stands, and Stewie finding the one weapon that can really make the difference. That's what started off this round. Nitro with 3 kills, 2 off the back of the AWP found. Bomb is going to be retrieved. Stewie just looking to get towards the side, but the timing works for Jax. He waits for the smoke to fade and gets that kill to keep the clutch. A round that never should have even been close with what was invested into, and the faster play almost working, but a great couple of kills coming in from Lucky, and then Jax is able to save them. Another round on the board, and well, just look how deflated this Liquid side look at the moment. There's not really anybody being too vocal. I think they're just letting Adren talk here, just like giving him time, like, hey guys, you remember you're the best team in the world, right? Start acting like it. I hope he's that brutal. I imagine he's not, and that's probably why I'm not a coach and never will be. I don't think I'm the pep talk kind of guy.
I could see that.
I'm a bit of a negative Nelly, you could say.
Sure, Tom. I'll go with that. I'll go with it. I don't know, this is worrying times for Liquid, but a good step in the right direction for G2. 11-1, and Liquid had just been so quiet this entire game. And I wondered who's going to be the player within the team that's going to like rally them back up, get them riled back up and focus on the match.
See, I would normally gamble on someone like Twist because I just think he has like that raw individual aim in like the majority of situations. Even if he's not playing that well, he can still hit a few headshots, and also a fairly emotional player. Stewie has been completely absent. He had a fantastic first map. Currently with just 2 kills on the board, and there's not really anybody doing that much better. I think Naf's currently top. Elige with 29 ADR. I don't think anybody could have predicted that either. But again, we see this early gamble stack. It's quite surprising, actually, the way that G2 do it, because normally you see more aggression onto Banana if you're going to take these sort of plays. Like, you want to throw like a deep smoke, or you want to at least having someone peeking the top of Banana. Now, Amanek is so far back that if they just move onto this site, the rotation will take so long. That's why they actually have had to move Kenny back over a little bit earlier than they probably would have liked to. Smoke's going to leave him isolated. He has a little bit of utility to expend to at least give Amanek a chance, but instead it's going to look like a retake. And that's not something that G2 have really had to do too much of so far.
Lee's down to 1 HP as well, was just spammed down through the smoke out of Amanek. And he'll get the bomb down. They haven't really lost a player just yet. This is a good sign for Team Liquid. G2 with 3 players in a construction trying to push through. They have a man flanking around from the bottom banana. That's going to be Lucky, who eventually should die. That's Nitro to pick up the kill. And, I mean, we're seeing, like, they're up 11-1, and they're going to be saving their weapons here, Tom. Like, they didn't even give a chance for the retake to happen. They were dependent on Lucky alone to flank in from behind to give them an avenue to hit with. And they give it up. I mean, their economy isn't too great. I mean, you do have Lucky and Jax at 7K. Hiroshima at about 6, but to give up that site without a contest?
I think this is one of those scenarios, though, where G2 went into this map somewhat knowing that they're the underdog, especially after the last one. So I think if you actually watch the way they've been playing this map, it's way heavier on gambles than you'd normally play.
I think that's
like,
fair.
You've seen rounds where the crossfire on the A site has literally just been Lucky and Jax, and then everybody else has been playing on B. And then they've just held it down. They've had a really, really good game. Then you've had other rounds where Kenny's just been aggressively peeking into Banana, going for wall bangs, and he's been the solo player. And you've had many rounds where Amanek has, in fact, been the solo B player. It's because I think they know that, okay, firstly, we can't really be too aggressive with Banana, at least when it's just Amanek there, because if he's spotting and he's jump spotting, Twist will take your head off, or Naf will do it, or anybody else on their side. So they've just been super passive and then just tried to predict when these players are going to be coming. And okay, sure, it's not perfect and it's definitely going to have its flaws, but it does give them more of an opportunity. And especially when Liquid have been throwing in a load of fakes, you sort of go, okay, let's just stick to what we're doing. If they then rotate back into our stack, we win the round. If they don't, then hey, okay, we lost one out of the 11 that we currently have as victories. Cow. You love it. You love to see it. I think Kenny having a good game is, there's not much more enjoyable in Counter-Strike. Like, he is still the pivotal player when it comes to this AWP. A good Kenny-esque game, there's not much more you can ask for. 15 and 6 at the moment. We're actually going to go pushing through that mid-smoke.
Well, the one thing I could ask for is for him to do it more often.
Yeah. But it's happening right now, Jason.
I'm
looking at the positives. Yeah, enjoy it while you can. If this goes to a third, we'll see if that remains.
Well, Liquid, they do have utility to use. The gamble, not happening really much this time. They do still have 2 players towards the B site. They still have a floater in towards CT spawn. That's going to be Jax. That's Incendiary to stop them from pushing in towards that long position. Actually, a decent amount of burning damage coming down. 30 seconds left to go, and Liquid are going to have to hit momentarily. They do have a player tucked away in towards apartments. That's going to be Twist. Kenny, though, actually in sight with the AWP, trying to play up close and personal. Gets the first, gets the second, eventually overrun. And unfortunately, Jax falls as well. I'm not sure where Lucky was. Maybe he was blinded up or something like that, but they lose the sight. Liquid get the control back in a 2-on-2, and they get the bomb down.
These are the sort of rounds in the last map we saw them win. What was that? A 2 versus 5 now turned down to just 2v2. It's Amanek, who's not really been one of the best performers so far, alongside Kiyoshima. Molotov is going to force Nitro out, and Kyo manages to get himself the kill. It's left all onto Twist. I said he was the man to sort of turn things back, maybe give them a round to celebrate. Gets both headshots as well. And that's the sort of step up you need from Liquid. It doesn't get them pumped, though. They're just as down in the dumps, but at least this man has pulled off one of those crazy clutches we love to see.
Come on, where's the excitement? He gets 2 headshots in quick succession like that to save the round.
I guess they were expecting
like,
it.
Yeah,
I just like, he does it every day. That is worrying, though. That's the one thing about these sort of player cams. Like, it's fantastic when they're like, yeah, it's going great. Like with Tarek in the last map where he was celebrating every single kill. When it's the other way around, you're sort of like, oh, damn, what's just happened?
Kenny re-blinded up. Starting to use, I think the flashbangs a lot more effectively against Kenny, considering he's been able to hit a lot of those openers towards Banana. 17 kills, 134 ADR for Kenny S so far. A little bit of a hole here, and you might actually have a chance to go for the shot. The problem is, T's aren't even going that direction. They're heading back towards the A site. Nitro just takes Kyo down through the smoke. Now they can be a little bit light defensively on the A site, which you see the rotations coming out of Amanek, leaving Kenny by himself, the AWP, at the B site. But it looks like they've gambled correctly here as... Well, I can't even say it necessarily because Liquid still have 50 seconds left. As long as there's like 10 seconds left on the clock, they could go anywhere, apparently, on the map.
Once again, they're expecting some level of aggression to come out here now that they are sat with the advantage. Utility is at a bare minimum. There isn't a kit either, so if the bomb goes down, you have to feel like this is done. But to be honest, if the bomb goes down, that means that it's likely just Kenny remaining. Here we go, though. Amanek waiting on the cross. Will be smoked out. The bomb actually making its way through apps alone. If Lucky somehow manages to get the kill onto the bomb, it could be a problem. It is going to be crossing over. I think it should make it to the side without too many problems. And Stewie has found a kill in the meantime onto the man wrapping around the arch side. It leaves it onto just 2 pit players, and Twist looking to sneak in from behind, does a lot of damage, and there's nothing they can do in the end. A bit of a recovery eventually coming out from Liquid, but it took so damn long for them to get onto the board properly that you just have to feel like G2 is still firmly within the driver's seat.
And obviously moving over to the T side, things are going to be a little bit different for them. They're not going to be given free rounds, I would say, necessarily like they were given on the, or gifted, I should say, on the CT side. And you could tell they're getting pumped up, they're getting ready to go, just like we are. But before we get to that second half, we're going to head to a short break.
Sitting on a bench, waiting for the time to pass, dreaming of what happens next. I see what I wanna be, questioning my destiny, only knowing what I see. I don't even realize I've already made a path, and I can change it anytime. I can't take it back. I know what I want, but it seems so damn far away. I know I sound crazy to the ones who said then you better use it. Tell yourself day after day it's time to prove it. No days off, keep the hustle moving. Wanna see you be what you wanted to be, prove it. I know I sound crazy to the ones who said oh. I know I empower those who dream like me. I know I sound crazy to the ones who said oh.
We are back with one of the most interesting best of threes I think we've had over the course of today. Jason Kaplan joined by Tom Biz as we continue our coverage of ESL One New York. It's going to be G2 up against Team Liquid and moving to the second half. Currently 1-0 in the lead for Team Liquid, though after that last half, you missed the first map, you would guess that G2 should be up 1-0. But a fantastic scoreline put down by the Frenchman. And a fantastic job, to be fair, by capitalizing off the mistakes that Liquid did early on and then taking that momentum further on into the rounds.
I think that's where you have to start giving the props over to G2. Like we had a fantastic first half out from Jax, Lucky, and Kenny, which is not something you really see too often. So if they can carry that on, who knows? The problem is those last few rounds they let slip. Anything can happen. To just look at this aggressive push coming out already all the way down middle. A lot of teams sort of get stuck in this scenario, and they will be able to get the bomb plant. But 5 versus 3 retake, they have a kit. They even have a flashbang ready to try and get them back into the side. Twist is just going to run in. He's had enough of this already. Got a few headshots towards the end of the first half already. This is looking like the end. It's left onto just Jax. He's got to kill off every single player. It isn't going to happen. Liquid will get themselves the pistol. Well, I think that could be a turning point. Like, genuinely, getting those last few rounds. If the half ends 14-1, you can pretty much say, okay, it's done. But the fact that they managed to get just those last few, and you see it so often in Counter-Strike, now they win the pistol as well, really could swing back. So G2 have to be careful.
Oh, 100% could swing back. And those Betway odds a little bit different than 9 to the 1.01.
Favor. That just proves how good Liquid are. That even when they were lost the first half 11-4, they're still favored massively to take it. Like, that is ridiculous.
I think it's fair, though.
Yeah, you know, being the best team in the world does kind of help with that.
Yeah, a little bit. Well, let's see. Can the rest of Team Liquid start to step up? Or will G2 be able to figure out the weak point on Team Liquid, considering, well, Liquid are undefeated in the last 3 months, played this map 7 times, won this map 7 times. They're going to have to do what a lot of prior teams could not and figure out the best course of action, the best way to attack these sites, and the best way to get these bombs down.
Well, that's the other thing as well with this G2 roster is, like, one of the things that's happened with Keo being in this team just, like, as a stand-in is that Shox has left and he was calling. So, like, how much are they going to have, like, calling on the opposing side? Like, are they just going to have to rely on individual skill? Because that's not something you want to see going into a half versus Liquid. Stewie also getting a triple kill. I think a much-needed one as well. Like, he had a pretty poor first half, but they're going to make that one look fairly easy. Of course, it was just some pistols. We know that there's a buy coming in this next round from G2. But I think it's very important for G2 that they get a round on the board early. Like, if this now goes to like a 3 or 4 round streak, I think Liquid win.
You can see them trying to talk some things over. And I mean, I agree. Like, obviously with Shox leaving the team, no dedicated in-game leader, T side should be where they struggle. Trying to figure out their strategies for these rounds. And I feel like if they get shut down towards B, they get shut down towards A, they're going to quickly run out of things to do. And then it might just come down to a sort of free-for-all of just looking for a pick in some locations and hoping that's going to be good enough to take these sites. But to defend these sites, if they can even get into them to get the bomb down, I think is going to be even more difficult considering what we saw in Dust 2. Think back to the pistol round out of Stewie on CT side. Catches one crossing in the B site through doors, then pushes in with like a flashbang unexpectedly and catches out 2 more players. So it's going to be tough. Even if you do get the bomb down, that's only half the battle. Defending it is going to be the other half.
Already. A few nades being thrown over the top. As mentioned in the interview in between the maps, that they definitely feel like they still have a lot more work to do, even after such a dominant map in the first. Seeming like that's fairly evident from what we saw in the first half, but I could easily see this swinging back. Important for G2 to try and win this round at least. And then it would be a lot easier for them. Like, the money's not going to be great for Liquid into the next. Of course, in this one even, they've got some pieces missing, a few Famuses, an MP9. But they do have a lot of utility. That's what they've been expending early into this round, just trying to make it so that nothing can really be done. Kenny going to be held back as well by the smoke. And as of right now, there's not been a lot of ground really gathered by G2, considering how little time is coming up on the clock.
I mean, a lot of this utility's been dragged into this late in the round. Molotov smoke's gone. They still have one incendiary. That's by Stewie over towards the actual B site, which he's just thrown down. The push is coming towards A, and look at this. The entries are good. Jax and Kenny both chime in for the first. Twist not able to spray onto the second. So have one more player tucked away in the site to deal with.
Oh, they've gone B.
Yeah, they've actually switched things up. So that's a proper fake coming through. They aggressively push, they show themselves and get kills, and then they get the entire B site wide open. And Team Liquid probably going to save off the back of this. So there we go. G2 going to be on 12. And the money's not amazing for the Liquid side.
Yeah, I think this is where you see the real differences from the CTs, though, is that the way that G2 actually played some of those rounds where we go, oh yeah, maybe they made a mistake with the fake. Liquid didn't really make a mistake with their fakes in the previous half. What happened is G2 just left one player somewhere, and if they died, they just didn't rotate. They just went, we're just going to stay here. And it just happened that early in the game, Liquid were like, okay, we've got the kill here. Let's now wait for they're going to rotate, so we'll fake it in and we'll be on A and there'll be no one there. But if your opponent is just playing like very risky Counter-Strike by just not rotating anyone or just planning saves and you just rotate into it, it comes into basically you just mind gaming yourself. But for G2, they're just like, oh.
I mean, I think the one hole you can poke in that theory is that their decision-making came too late.
Yeah,
there was multiple rounds where they like literally just, if he ran to a wall half a second longer, then he wasn't get the bomb down, or they try to hit the A site. And after switching from B, when they wouldn't even have time to plant, even if they got there with no one there to stop them. So I think there's still a couple of mistakes being thrown in there, but in general, it was a very weird first half, I think, out of Liquid. But G2, credit to them to be able to rise to the occasion and get this amount of rounds on the board. They get some good nade damage in onto Stewie. One of the few rifles they actually do have in this round.
Yeah, he's almost dead. He's down to just 17 now, and I think even Elige has just been hit with what was potentially another nade. Like, already so much damage done early on from G2. They're going to gain banana control much earlier in this round. Now, this one is more of just whatever they could purchase on the Liquid side, like a little bit of investment alongside the rifles that were kept. So it's not the end of the world. But this is where you hope that one of your players can step up. We've seen sort of one hero play come out from Twist. We also had Nitro almost win a round off the back of a Tech 9 and then picking up an AWP. There's definitely still that moment in any of these Liquid players where they can just take control of a round. But it needs to happen soon.
Yeah, you can't sleep on them at all. I mean, even with the 11-4 scoreline, you cannot fall asleep, or they are going to take this game right out from under you. Bomb's not going to be here as a Slay pushing in towards the B side. 3 players waiting to execute towards A. Naf gets the connection. Flashbang's being thrown in. They do force them back. Maybe now it's time for the execute on A to happen, as they actually did force the rotate to come through. They need to take this long control away from them, try to contest them before they have a chance to take Library back. The bomb in the hands of Kiyoshima. Elige waiting. Well, waiting to die, I guess, apparently, as they could walk over Liquid and completely shut this down. Not the last alive, up against 4. Gonna get 1 kill, but just gonna look to save the AK.
Yeah, that's like a good take as well from G2. Like, those are the sort of rounds that you can easily make mistakes and run out of time, and or the bomb gets dropped on the cross, but everything just seemed to work out for them. They find all the extra picks and smiles across the board. It's what you'd like to see. Still, definitely not counting out just yet. And this is where we now get a buy back in for the side of Liquid. This is where the purchase comes up, and they need to start stringing rounds together. If this is going to be done on Inferno, and I believe the third map as well is actually going to be Overpass, which at least as of recent in some of their online results, they've made some mistakes. It has not been the sort of flawless map that we've seen from them. And even earlier in the day, it looked a little bit dicey versus their opponents. Aggressive play from Shooting Lucky. That's as easy as you like. 2 kills to his name. Molotov, actually from a teammate, is going to hold him back, and Elige is going to try and throw out some counter utility, but they're just going to go running through it. Like, Kenny feeling so confident at this point that they just go straight through that smoke. They take over the site. Elige does manage to net 1, but that's all he's going to get. And while the rotation is there from Nitro, but, wow, this is an MP9 with 3 players on the site. They need to do something truly heroic.
Well, that's not going to work out. Twist with FAMAS. Can maybe make it expensive for the side of G2. But I would imagine now with his position given away, be lucky to get more than 1. And there we go. Lucky closes it out. And that's 14. G2 getting ever so close to map point. Kind of surprising considering how it was a 16-3 scoreline on Dust 2. And this is a map that Liquid have not lost in the last 3 months. They played it 7 times. They've won 7 times.
Yeah, I think it's starting to sound a bit like a broken record, really, with like we're going, no, this should be where they come back, right? No, okay, no, now this is where they're going to start making the plays, and it's just never happened. This is just G2 have just been running over them, and as said, we've got 3 players on G2's side, where in round 21, there's been 20 rounds played, that means, and they have 20 kills or above. Like, you can't really ask for more. Just playing very well. Nice shot from Elige. Elise manages to get one off the bat, and they've done some damage early on, actually. This is not one of the rounds that G2 want to let slip. There's one man currently defending B. Of course, there's no way they could know that without having some sort of cheats or psychic powers. No. Jax is at least going to catch the further aggression. Trying to sort of maybe pump the brake a little bit here. Just slow things down. Not allow things to get out of control, of course. But they have rotated a second player in towards this B side, so maybe making a little bit more of a crossfire. Of course, there still isn't any real weaponry for the side of Liquid.
There's a chance, though, with Kenny pushing like this. They could... Oh, nice shot on the Stewie. Good support out of Keel. I was going to say, if they can somehow dislodge Kenny S, there might have actually been a chance to recover a weapon and be able to hold them back. I think G2 now, as they're going to rotate back towards the A site where no one's even waiting, they're going to get themselves on map point. They're going to be up to 15-6 out of Liquid.
It is very funny to me that it's actually been almost 100% success rate on the fakes that G2 have been throwing in. And then every time the Liquid tried it, it failed. Not that it was even needed in this round at all. Like, they could have quite easily got the bomb down onto the B site. Twist and Nitro, they're just desperately looking for a gun. They want to get something into this round at least, but it just isn't happening. Twist just trying to hold. And there are going to have to be a few players that leave this site, so maybe there's the potential there for him at least to do a little bit of damage. Like, they can't just hold in that back corner. And I think that's somewhat what he's hoping for, that he can just run into that back corner, shoot a couple of players. And yeah, sorry, Twist, there's no one there.
Well, G2 now have quite a few map points to play with. If Liquid are going to start a comeback, it's going to be a long one, to be fair, only at 6 rounds. A little bit worried how they look on their screens as well. Kind of beat up, kind of disappointed. Dren's not standing up.
They look like they're actually playing from Cologne, and it's actually the time it is here.
Yeah, which is, I can tell you in a second. I have a watch, but I'm looking at my phone. 1:30, so a little bit late over here.
That's a lot of utility damage already done. Nobody even seen 3 players initially on towards this B site for Liquid. At least kicking this round off well, but can they finish it off? They've already used up so much utility. Sure, they have smokes remaining and a couple of flashbangs, but if it came down to a retake, you'd have to fear that it wouldn't be possible for them.
They do have a double ops on the CT side, though. Stewie and Nitro together. Stewie at the B site, Nitro over towards Long. And well, Kenny, again, will get the better of him. 23 kills for this man. 112 ADR still. Rotations have come through, though, so they still have 3 players leaning towards the A site, with Stewie in more of an aggressive position to look for any sort of fake coming back towards B. The utility's still going to be here for G2 as they go for the execute.
Yeah, Nav's going to be on the other side of the smoke, though. He's ready and waiting. Gets 1, 2, and 3. That's what they needed. A big play to step up from Nav, and now Kenny's just on a retrieval mission. He desperately wants to get that bomb back, and that's all he can really hope for. Amanek still in the apartment site. What can he really do from here? Nade's going to be thrown over. He jumps down and actually kills Twist, but that's all. And well, it looked like they could have lined up there. Oh. But instead, neither player goes down. Back on the board, a big play coming out from Naf. And can this actually awaken Liquid? Because even just looking at them at the moment, they're not looking like the same team. They're not pumped up at all. It's calm and collected, which, hey, for some teams works out. But You normally want to have someone like Stewie shouting at the opposition, like, oh, well, I'd say through the wall, but there's probably only a bit of cardboard between the teams. That's normally what you have. Oh, that's a nice shot.
Even with X-ray on, that looked hard. Just imagine that from his point of view without being able to see anything. Oh, that nade hits Lucky and then explodes. He's down to 39 HP. I think for Liquid is, if they want to come back in this series, they have so many rounds in a row that they have to take, knowing that they can't make one mistake. Or if they do, someone has to step up to make up for that. But if you're G2, I wonder, is there a point where you start to get frustrated when you're up, 15 to 6, and you're like, why can't we close out this game? Why can't we finish this map? Every site we go to, we just seem to lose these fights. And I feel like if you are G2, that's something that you have to really think of as potentially coming. If Liquid can start to chain these rounds together, frustration is going to kick in. Uncertainty will start to settle. But it looks like B is going to be the site they're going towards. Stewie, he's going to hit that first shot onto Lucky. And now still going to be here to help out.
And being forced off the angle, but he still manages to get the kill, and it's left onto the same two players as in the previous round. They still have the money to go for a purchase into the next with what loss bonus they'll gather. With 30 seconds left, do they just want to keep the extra weaponry? Like, do they want to keep the SG and the AWP? It might actually be worth it in this scenario. Kenny will be able to drop an AK with what he currently has instead of trying to invest into what would probably be a glass cannon open, yeah? Just going to take the save. I think it might be a good point for them to sort of take the pause and give their coach a little bit of time to talk, which I think is going to be hugely valuable for them. As mentioned, they don't have like a specific in-game leader at the moment. I would suggest maybe it's Amanek, but again, it's kind of hard to tell without truly knowing. At the same time, every round that passes by, as you mentioned, is going to start to play on their minds.
So the timeout coming in. Again, you see him trying to talk to his team, figuring out what they can do. Again, just one round. To know just that one round separates you and to be shut down time and time again hitting these sites. I'm sure everyone's played those matchmaking games, which just nothing can seem to go right.
Yeah. It's a little bit different. Like, I don't have Malik standing behind me, and like I can't just like call a tactical pause and him like talk me through how things are going to go, which hopefully will be the difference maker. Of course, this does give Adren a little bit of time to talk, and as you can see, he's very vocal at the moment. Literally,
he was
said
screaming.
Nothing.
He was screaming. Yeah. Remember the other game we saw that?
Yeah. Clearly enjoying himself. Well, they're actually not going to invest off the back of this. They're going to have the AWP. They're going to have the SG. And that is going to be all. And this is going to be a much faster play by the looks of things. Taking short control early on. The bomb somewhat watching in towards middle, though. And they're actually going to fall back. They thought that looked like it was going to be an explosion on towards the A side. Instead, they've decided to spread out and look for clues.
Well, that's the dangerous thing for Liquid, is that they can afford to do that, being ahead by this many rounds. Why not get explosive and just try to catch them off on a site? You just need one damn round to close it out. Well, Almonic's going to give his chance with the SG. Big stack towards this A site, though. Again, Stewie playing so aggressive, giving him a lot of information, a lot of forewarning if they're going to be heading back to the B site. With 40 seconds left to go, we know G2 is going to explode out of this, and especially with not getting the information there onto Lucky.
Oh my god. That's not a good start. Already Naf going to go down. There's not a whole lot of weaponry on this G2 side, but if the pistols can keep finding picks, then there may not be a problem. Kenny has also found a kill onto Elige. Twist has to go big, and he does. 2 kills already. The clock burning with Nitro finding one more, and Kenny surely going to meet the same fate. It's left all on to Keo. Can he be the problem for Liquid? That's a nice shot at least. Twist is low in the pit, but he needs to get the kill, and it's not going to happen. It's going to be another round on the board.
I don't know how Liquid keep holding on to this. They lose the initial battle. Somehow Twist gets a nice double kill from Pit to actually save the round for them. mean, G2, well, we're going to be able to buy back into this round. But I don't know how much money they're really going to be able to have. I mean, as you can see, not really anything after this round. The lost bonus is going to start to come into effect, yes, but a bomb plant would help maybe secure a buy-up into the next round. Again, I keep mentioning it, but those frustrations, they have to be rising for the team. Every round that goes by, it gets worse, I feel like. And it gets that much harder to actually come back and win the round.
Yeah, the last one. Considering as well what they invested, I think if they just got owned, it wouldn't be so bad. But instead, they make it fairly close and then lose it anyway. 6 rounds now, the difference. T-side slowly looking to make their way up. Banana, there's going to be a 2-man defense of Stewie with that AWP and Naf looking to try and hold down the fort. They've got the incendiary at least to hold them back a little bit. They can't really push through this, but they're actually going to go for it. Instead, just go right into the blender. It should be an easy cleanup now. Missed shot, but it doesn't matter. Okay, Burns at least down, but surely Lucky can't do anything in this 1 versus 3, especially with his opponent somewhat falling back, just trying to make sure that this round is secured. Shots being spammed through, but won't actually do anything. And if Lucky can get this kill, maybe he has a chance, but Elige not going to give him one. 15-10. The comeback continues, but there's still a long way to go.
Again, like, considering I've been able to win so many rounds. Yeah, again, you see frustration there. Kenny's face, frustrated about that one. Keo, frustration as well. And look at the Liquid guys, and I can't tell if they're winning 15-2 or if they're losing 15-2. The same face they've had the entire map so far.
Maybe they're trying to, like, channel their inner Finland and just, like, have absolutely no emotions at all.
So you're saying Liquid's
maybe
going to end?
That's how you get to a major final, you know? It worked for them once.
Forgot to ask Natu about that last week, if they're signing Liquid.
I'll ask where he got the money from. Once again, though, just a few pistols invested into. As you mentioned, the money's not going to be there this time for G2. We'll be into the next round if they do want to get that AWP in onto Kenny. But once again, we're going to see this fast play and twist while the flashbang looks like it's going to save him a little bit. Lucky still manages to get the trade, and they've already managed to get a man into the pit, but there's 2 players within this site. Bit of a weird setup, but it seems to be working wonderfully for the CT side. Naf picks off another. Keo does a lot of damage, but Amanek can't do anything. Naf with a triple. Again, a big round coming out from him, and I think Hedren's starting to sort of realize now. You see a smile going across his face like, yeah, they're going to do it, aren't they? They're going to bring it back. I'm a genius.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dren's here in the studio with us. Took a flight over from New York. I'm a genius.
I hope he thinks like that. I genuinely do. I hope that there's a moment where he just goes, yeah, I'm fantastic. I'm a genius. I'm a Dren.
But again, it's not like these rounds have been super clean. Like, they've been very close. Like, G2 will get the initial pick, or maybe they'll have like a man or 2 up against Liquid, and yet somehow like Twist hits a double kill, or Naf just goes off in the round, and somehow they're able to just hold on off this individual plays out of Liquid. Back to the AKs for G2. SG for Amanek. I almost want to see them just rush into a side again with weapons. Because Liquid aren't really being forced to use too much utility. Look at this. We're 1 minute and 8 left into the round. They saw 4 smokes.
Yeah, it does seem like it's only when the utility's actually forced out of them that anything's really expended. Like there, like they see that the mid control's starting to be taken, so they throw out a smoke. They deter G2 from pushing any further, and they actually start to switch their gaze towards the B site, where there's now a smoke down as well. So again, they're starting to limit the amount of space, the amount of time that G2 can actually play with, and 40 seconds, 35 seconds on the clock. Like they've got to start doing something here.
Still 2 incendiaries and a smoke left for Liquid side. Fate coming in towards the B site. Rotates half command for Liquid, losing out on one player to head back towards B. And Twist is going to spot them in apartments. Picks the first, takes the second. Omnic's going to take the head off Twist, though. But Nitro will still be here, and the bomb ideally should not be planted anymore with 4 seconds left. And Liquid now going to be up to 12. G2. I can't imagine what's going on within their team and their comms.
Yeah, it's got
11-4 first half. Keep in mind.
They were 11-1 up.
Yeah.
Like that's what I sort of said. I was like, are they going to regret letting those last few rounds slip? And at the moment, it's looking like they might be, because this is where everybody starts to get a little bit flustered. Wow. Once again, there's going to be a purchase. It's not going to be a particularly good one. Sure, you've got the AWP onto Kenny, but you've got a Deagle and a MAC-10.
Yeah, it's like, well, you're not really going to rush because you have an AWP, but you're also not going to sit back because you have a MAC-10 and a Deagle. So what's the play here? Hope you get a pick somewhere?
Well, that's what we sort of said. It's like, is this where the strat book gets a little bit thin? Already, though. They have managed to bait out the utility a little bit earlier, at least a bit of it. There's still a fair few smokes and incendiaries remaining. Once again, they're going to try and take away this mid control.
But they're not even taking the control away. They're being gifted every time. We're not seeing Liquid even contest it. We don't see them challenging directly in towards middle. They let them come in towards this long position or the short position, and then they pounce.
Yeah, crossfire. Well, it works out in the end. It's still going to be a trade, but well, just look at the weaponry that's already been lost. Kenny's AWP is on the ground, and Naf has just been so good in these situations. He is going to get traded, but again, that's fine. It keeps them with a man advantage. Still Twist within the pit, which I'm not even sure they've cleared him at all, like throughout this half. He's been so good at just locking down this area of the map. 25 seconds for them to make their play in towards this A site. Lucky looking to lead the way, but he's already low, and his teammate up in the apps isn't going to be able to do too much. He basically has to do everything here. And Elijah just sat within the site. Like, he's going to try and go for a bomb plant, and Elijah's just going to kill him. That's it. Round done again. Aminek does nothing in this scenario, just waits and hopes that Lucky is, as his name suggests. And unfortunately for him, he's not.
Not going to be Britney Spears in it this time, unfortunately. And Liquid just keep on the warpath, keep marching towards that 15-15 scoreline to throw it into overtime. Honestly, if this goes overtime, I think G2 lost it. I don't think they're going to be able to recover mentally from having an 11-1 scoreline and then being on 15 for so many rounds in a row. I don't know if you can bounce back from that. Yeah, I don't know if they're strong enough as a team mentally to do that.
Well, yeah, especially because they're not even a team, really, at the moment. Here we go. Aggressive push up towards Banana. They want to try and just brute force finish this with pistols. Naf's going to throw down the smoke, and well, I guess they'll just have to wait. You almost wonder if they would just run through it, try and catch somebody with their pants down, but instead we'll have a boost. Okay, we're going to have an attempt 2 of it, or is Naf just going to accept his fate in this corner? Looks like he will. No rotations yet, so if they can overwhelm these players, maybe there's an opportunity, but on this CT side, both players have been stepping up. They're actually going to go for the wraparound, though. I like this. Get themselves further round into the church. It gives quite a bit of space available for this G2 side. The rotation is going to come in from Nitro. He has that AWP, but you don't know if he'll expect anybody to be this far around, and Naf didn't know anything about it. Stewie just going to have to try and survive in this corner, but a great shot with the Deeg at least drops down one more. And although they have done damage, although they've got this bomb into the site, it's still a 2v3.
No smokes, no flashes. It's going to come down to raw aim as Kiyoshima takes on Elige. Now it's all unlucky. He can redeem himself from the last time. He gets the first. He's straight into the second. He can't quite hit the shots, though. Nitro's still alive with 41 HP left. Nitro needs to hit the shot, switch over to the CZ. He's going to run out of bullets eventually here, especially if he keeps riding them off like this. And Nitro hits the shot, clutches the round. And Liquid will not go quietly just yet as we go into the final round of normal time.
As if he just wallbangs him straight through the fountain. He's like, yep, let me just line this up with my protractor. And yeah, he's right there.
Just see him like taking out his compass and his protractor and just, all right, if A plus B equals C, then he's right there.
Yeah. That's why it took so long for him to get the kill, you know.
Yeah, look at this, the faces of G2. They got the bomb down. They got the guns. They got the weapons. They got the utility. But can they get the kills?
That is the thing, though. If they close this out now, I think I won't forgive them for it. Just for taking this long to get there. Because they should have done this so long ago. And you almost feel like Liquid now deserve that comeback, but at the same time, it's hard to say that G2 don't deserve the victory. Sure, in the second half, they've been nothing like the first, but to be 11-1 up and, well, even, what, 15-6 up? The amount of rounds in a row that they've lost is ridiculous, and there have been so many close scenarios, the last round being just one of them. Once again, 4 players on that side. Kiyoshima's going to get owned through the smoke. He's got to be careful. Jax has the bomb. Him going down would have been far worse, but he at least manages to escape. Stewie in such an aggressive position, and Lucky almost in just a standoff on the other side.
Let's just come back in as Elise just trying to peek around from short. So player back in towards CT. Naf is going to shut this down. Okay, actually gets a little bit of help from his enemy. Almanac takes the head off of Jax. 2 on 5 now as the bomb approaches the B site with 30 seconds left. And Stewie, he's got an AWP. He's got a mission. And that mission is to take it into overtime.
Oh.
Wow.
It's looking like an impossible mission, but unfortunately not for Stewie. Lucky not going to be able to do anything. That's the most emotion we've actually seen from anyone on the Liquid side. Woo! And yeah, that's 15-15 from 15-6. 9 rounds in a row.
From 11-1.
Yeah, but I feel like 15-6 is worse. I know 11-1 is bad, but like a lot of the time you see a team get the last few rounds, you're like, oh, okay, they let it sit. 15-6, you needed 1 from 9. Yeah, try and hype them up. Good luck with that. Like, what do you even say at this point? Well, yeah, you failed to win a round on the last 9, but this time you both have loads of money.
I don't know what to say here. A rough game from both teams now. Look at this aggression. So much Molotov, so much burning happening in Banana. Nas down to 54 HP. Stewie. Does he know that Lucky's going to be off to the side? Goes for the shot anyways. And I do back off. And oh, is this a spectator thing, or is this just what Stewie does? Is he tilting the mouse up, or is that the spectator, like, being buggy?
Well, I don't know. Maybe he's got a little bit of movement because his mouse mat's so small, and he has to just be ready. Has to get it right in the middle. But yeah, both players hitting the shot. Lucky doing slightly more.
Is it like similar with quick switching to keep your fingers going? So you like tilt up to like keep his hand ready?
I think everybody just has their weird little ticks, and a lot of the time they're just a bit weird to see. Here we go. A lot of utility expended in towards this mid position once again, but at least this time it seems like they baited out a little bit more of it. Stewie's going to be left alone on towards the B site, but he does have a smoke to throw down even with just 35 seconds left on the clock, and he's going to expend that now. It seems like the T's will have to try and make their move, and Nitro's ready and waiting. Support will eventually be coming in from Naf. I don't think he actually spotted Jax getting around the corner. The flashbang's good, but he can't get the kill, but it might not matter. There's only 20 seconds left. They have to try and get in towards this site. They need the bomb to wrap around. If it hits the floor, it's surely over. Nice shot from Kenny, though, as Elige is left as the final line of defense, and he's going to spray down 2. Just a matter of seconds for them to get this bomb down. Have they actually planted it? I don't know if they've had. It's going to be so ridiculously close, just about. Now Stewie, well, he doesn't want to just save here, but he might not have a choice.
Could have been almost a Liquid-esque mistake there if they didn't get the bomb down off that. But yeah, it looks like he's just going to be saving. Maybe look for an exit kill or 2. But again, money's not going to be a major factor into this.
This is one of those things, though, where you're going to look at this and go, why couldn't we do this in one of the other 9?
Exactly.
Like, why did it take round number 31 for them to finally get a round on the board?
Now, does this pump them up or does this break them down, though? Does it pump them up because, hey, We got first round overtime. Good job, guys. Or is it like exactly what you said? Why couldn't we have just done this in normal time? And we're seeing a little bit more life within the team here on the screens. Liquid. Super excited.
Yeah, they're pumped.
They're either pumped
But to be
or
fair,
hungry. I can't tell which one.
yeah. That's pretty much Naf's face all the time. Like, the person who got a photo of him smiling, it's like, I don't know, that's like seeing Jesus. Like, it's...
You could have went with like 1,000 different things.
Yeah.
But Jesus.
Jesus. Hey, it brings light into my life.
I mean, there's another direction you could have gone with me, so I'm happy you went with that one at least. Okay. I think you got it. If you don't, I'll tell you after we're done here. But 16-15 in G2. I don't know, they've spent a lot of time just sitting in this middle position, whether it's this round or all the rounds before. They're really using this big pivot point, and hey, they said the A site worked last time. Let's see if it can work yet again. Smoke's thrown everywhere, and it actually cuts off the entire attack. Out of G2 here, and Twist even has a potential angle on quite a few different players. They've halted the aggression. Utility has been expended quite heavily, which is the adaptation I think we've seen out of G2 from the last half till the first couple of rounds of overtime now. And they might have even almost sold a fake. You can see, I think that's what, Stewie rotating back towards the A site? Or sorry, B site? And 30 seconds left. They're going to have to make their move. They're going to have to push in.
This setup's so weird. They've got 3 players on the actual bomb site. Like, it's going to be so tough to actually break down, and I don't know if they're even going to be able to do it. They're coming down to the 15-second mark. They have got the wraparound. The information seems to be there. Alicia's going to go down. It's going to come down to the last few seconds once again. Twist in the corner needs to try and hold on. He's dropped the bomb once more, and they're just going to get it down. It's exactly the same, Jason. Just 2 seconds left, and they plant the bomb, and while Keo is going to cut off the head of Naf, leaving just Stewie, and even he can't kill Kiyoshima. There's going to be another round on the board, something they struggled with on their T side, but this time they've got 2.
That was all up to Kenny again, by the way, to plant the bomb. 2 rounds in a row. Yeah, I don't know what that was. Like, they were creating a tank out of the A site, just all watching different angles. They gave up so much ground, so much position. And you saw, I think that was Stewie who ran back towards the B side. I think he threw down a smoke. He threw down like incendiary as well, thinking they're going to rotate back to the B side, but G2 just committed. G2 might be able to pull this off in overtime. Kenny S again with the opener, this time on to Stewie. Man advantage back in their hands. A 2-round lead as we're into our last round of the first half of overtime. And now it's going to be here alone to defend, so Liquid's still committing to this A site defense.
Just patiently waiting. It has been the A-site takeover the last couple of rounds, so you can understand that's where the majority of their players are. They've left Naf alone. He's been pretty good at getting multi-kills when they have pushed in his direction. Even still, though, I think G2 are expecting some sort of reaction here from Liquid. They're waiting to see if they go pushing. Instead, they throw a lot of utility in early on. However, I wonder if Elise actually managed to spot anything on the edge of the smoke. It doesn't look like it, and well, want a big play out from anyone of Liquid. It kind of has to be Naf. He's going to throw down his one remaining incendiary and try and just rotate back through the church.
But the bomb's heading back towards A, Tom.
Oh, Nitro. Oh, he rotates fully. They've seen a couple of players there and they think it's going to be that direction, but they should have learned by now that this G2 side just want to keep going A again and again. However, look at the rotation back. Nitro's managed to get into the site, and there's one man in the corner as well. Twist just holding on, and this time he's going to win it for them.
Well, 2 rounds on the T side, 1 round for the CTs of Team Liquid as they now swap sides here in the second half of overtime. A lot of work to be done here. But then again, G2 had a good start on the CT. They went 11-1 at one point, finished off 11-4. Kenny was looking confident, though I wonder if that confidence has been broken since they were on, was it 9 map points?
I don't know. He got that pick in that round. It's just that I think they now overthought things a little bit with the way that they were playing. Like, and they gave enough time. I think if you go for one of those late rotations, you just have to go running in. But they gave enough time to twist to get back into the same corner again. That was like a get that out of my face look.
He had that same look on Media Day, apparently.
He has that same look every day.
Well, here we go. Team Liquid, they were not very successful on the T side in the get-go. Kenny S, did he just burn down to 26 HP?
That's the Kenny S cooking show coming soon. Not quite what he signed up for, though.
I'd watch it.
Or him being cooked.
Oh, no, his cooking show.
That was the joke.
Yeah, I would love to watch Torture, Tom.
Well, it has been torture watching the Liquid comeback, to be honest, and we'll see if they're going to be able to do it on the T side. They look to, again, take some more of this mid-control smoke off a lot of these avenues. Look at the aggression coming in from G2. They're going all the way into bottom banana, so we saw all of these fakes thrown in from Liquid in their actual T half. They can't really do too much about it here. They've lost way too much map control. Instead, they're going to try and fight things back. They're throwing deep Molotovs. This is actually quite interesting. I don't think they know how close the G2 players actually are. Nice shot from Stewie. He doesn't expect Kiyoshima to still be there. And now, well, they kind of have to go for their execution in the other direction. But Kenny has already found a pick.
Oh, Jax again from this position. The crossfire they've been able to set up in the A side has been really hard to dislodge, to dismantle for the T side of Team Liquid. They're going to be pushing back in. Lucky peeks a little bit late there, but he still gets the first on the list. Naf up close with a shotgun and the up. And it's not going to work out for him. Kenny doesn't even know what happened in that round, apparently.
Did we win? No.
Well, in French, obviously.
One more. Yeah. I don't know what the French for did. Did we win?
Well, they might be able to say it here. 18-16. One more round, they'll actually be able to close this out and take us on to Overpass for third and final map of the night. And Team Liquid's just fighting for the double overtime here.
Stewie getting aggressive with the orb. Spotted multiple players. He's going to be able to find the opening pick. A few nades being expended just to try and force him back, but ultimately the damage is done. Lucky goes down. He's been one of the pivotal players for this G2 side, especially in that first half. The CT side was on point. Kenny looking for the return, but can only high-five Naf with a bullet.
Getting so nervous seeing that bomb down back towards T stairs.
Oh, Naf heard you. They've left a lone defender of Amanek. This actually happened quite a few times, and when they did go pushing into the B site, it seemed to work wonderfully. Look at this gamble from G2. They're not even playing the 4-1. They're playing the 4-0.
But knowing Liquid's luck, they're gonna go in B, and with like 15 seconds left, rotate back to A.
That would be next level.
I just really hope that doesn't happen now after I've said it.
You'd have to hope that they'd at least throw a player into their fake, and, well, they're just going to go straight into the site. Sticking to their guns this time, and while it doesn't really get much easier than this, fact is G2 can still go for this retake. Like, normally you'd say this is just suicidal, like you're probably not going to be able to do it, but hey.
So, are they trying to win the map off of a gamble? Like, do you think even in the next rounds it's going to happen as well, where they're like, all right, we're just going to stack a site, and if they come here, then we win. If they don't, then we just go to double overtime, or
maybe
we retake?
If they lost, I think because they lost the opening pick, they just decided to take a big risk. Because chances are, if you just split your defense, you're not going to win anyway. So I don't mind it, but they have been doing it quite a lot. Doesn't look like anything's really going to happen here, as the hold from Liquid is good. There's a few extra kills coming in for Amanek, but yeah. 18-17, of course, as I was saying, like, they have pretty much unlimited money at this point. So not really any worries when it comes to these sort of scenarios. They're not going to run out of cash, which that's my least favorite overtime. Like 10K MR3, I don't think there should ever be a point where you run out of money in overtime. Like, unless it's through your own stupidity. Like, oh, I bought 5 M249s and just
How
burn out
dare
all
you
my
say that
cash.
stupidity? That's like the next level strategy, Tom.
Well, that's why we see it a total of 0 times within the competitive scene.
Because our IQ is so much higher than the pro players.
Oh, yeah, cool. I'm not going to stick with that. Keo, this is aggressive, though. I like this. He's trying to close it on his own. 2 quick kills for Keo. Is there going to be any sort of response? We saw it a lot of times on Dust 2 where Liquid were able to grind back these rounds, but Inferno has been a completely different story. The man tainted as the problem may just be the solution for G2. I'm sure no one's ever said that before. And now, trying to find some way back into the round, but look how passive G2 are. In fact, this is almost filthy how passive they're being. Look at that B site. They're as far into the corner as they possibly could be. The best of friends hiding in the darkness.
Again, with Keo being on low HP, I really expect 2 players to be there.
I think Keo's going to run out. I think that's the idea, that he pushes out and, well, there you go. Well, it's the other way around.
Oh my god! Do not tell me
Oh, no. Oh,
Elise
no.
could clutch this.
This could be the worst
Oh
round
my gosh, and he's going to run back to the A side as well. Do not tell me no one on G2 can stop him. Don't tell me you had 2 players in dark, specifically to bait out one of them and not hit your shots. Elige, is he expect a player in towards Graveyard? 10 seconds left. He's gonna spot him out now if he gets this kill. Oh, there you go. Jax will finally close it out, but that was way too close for comfort, Tom.
Yeah, that is a map that this should have been closed 20 minutes ago. This was a 15-6 scoreline, absolute domination initially, and then a ridiculous grind back from the side of Liquid, but ultimately it wasn't enough in the end. Even still, I don't think G2 are going to come out happy with that. Like, just look at Ken.